Hello everyone, hope you guys are having a good day. It is March 6th, and today I am back here with another video. Today we're going to be talking about our next upcoming storm systems like we have been for a while, because we don't really have much going on right now. Today we did have a marginal risk in southern Florida. There has been a few severe thunderstorms down there today, but nothing major. But it is looking like the weather is going to get a lot more active as we go into next week. That's going to be of winter weather, severe weather. And yeah, so let's get started with the video. So first off, we're going to start by looking at 500 millibar winds. And this is Tuesday afternoon. We have a wave right here and another wave down here. So we're starting to have a little bit of a trough in the west and a ridge in the east. This is kind of what we want to see for severe weather in the plains. And it looks like this area right here is looking the best in front of that jet stream. As we go into Wednesday, we can see we have this. We have an upper level low kind of off the coast of California. Jet stream goes kind of like this. But that's actually a cutoff low. But yeah, so we're going to be looking at the potential to see severe weather likely in kind of the Midwest and the plains. Maybe not that far north, sorry, but the Midwest and the plains probably. So we're going to be looking at maybe the western parts of Dixie, like Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and Tennessee, kind of those areas. So let's get started. First off, let's look at dew points. Or not first off, sorry. Let's look at dew points now, though. That's an important factor for severe weather because if we don't have enough moisture, we're not going to have enough moisture for storms. That's how it works. It's pretty simple concept. But we got the Tuesday. This is Tuesday, kind of late afternoon. We have a low setting up in southeastern Colorado. Actually, let me scroll down a little bit. Yeah, we have a low setting up in southeastern Colorado, a low up in southern Canada. This low up here doesn't really have a lot of moisture with it. That's why we're not going to have that. We're not really going to be seeing a significant winter storm with this anymore. We don't get enough moisture with that low pressure. So we're not going to be seeing all that heavy snow like we could have been at one point. Like we had at one point, kind of in northwestern North Dakota in that area. That's not really showing up anymore. We do have moisture at the second low pressure down to the south. We have dews in the 50s in this area, and dews in the 60s down in that blue color right there. Well, those are mainly limited to South Texas, though. And as this low progresses further to the northeast, Wednesday I'm expecting to be the first really interesting day. We have our low it's a pretty broad low up in northeastern Iowa into central Wisconsin right there. So just imagine that. We have a cold front stretching like this with a low behind that. This is another little surface low. And we have southerly winds in this area, bringing moist air up. I mean, not extremely moist, but moist for this time of year. We have dews in the upper 50s, mid 50s widespread across much of the Midwest, all the way into central Wisconsin. That's pretty significant this time of year. And we have that low move out, and then it starts to lose its moisture a little bit as it moves up into the northeast. So not really the northeast, but eastern Canada. And we have a second low after that now. These lows after this, we're going to have several little surface lows. They're not really strong lows, but they're going to keep our moisture kind of locked in place, kind of like this. So this area right here, actually I'm going to extend it a little bit further to the north. This area is going to probably see the most moisture with this. So that would enhance your severe weather potential a little bit because you have more moisture for storms to live off of. And now let's go over to instability. Now keep in mind, this is the GFS model, so I've said this a lot before, but the GFS is a little bit of a cold bias, so it can underdo instability sometimes. But and so it'll get a little bit more accurate as we go closer to the actual event, which is still around 4 to 6 days out. But we can see this is next Wednesday. We have 1,000 surface-based CAPE in northern Oklahoma, some surface-based CAPE going all the way up into northern Iowa, and not a lot up there, but enough. We even have a little bit up in Wisconsin. Like I said, not a lot, only like 200, but we'll have to see. Maybe a linear storm threat, maybe some damaging winds in that area. And then Thursday, we have more and it's in the plains, kind of the southern parts of the Midwest. And that's how it stays along that like stationary front for a while. For a few days, we have enough energy to support some thunderstorms developing along that front in this area. And so yeah, now there's other factors that are going to play into this. So let's look at vorticity here, actually. I forgot where that is. I think it's right here, 500 millibar vorticity. All right. So we can see when we have our first severe weather day, my eye is kind of set on Wednesday and Thursday. It's probably going to be, Wednesday's probably going to be our first day with some interesting severe weather. We could get something Tuesday, though. That's not out of the question. You can see this is Tuesday, or not Tuesday, I'm sorry, Wednesday evening. We have our upper level low off the coast of California. It's a closed off low. The jet stream's kind of like this. It's a little bit interesting. And you see, but this is mainly a positive tilt right here. Now, if this was a negative tilt, that would kind of give us a better chance of it. You can see it's mainly positive, so that could limit our chance of a severe weather outbreak a little bit more. That's kind of one of the main issues that I'm looking at for a while. That could limit this kind of, event next week. With all these low pressures bringing the chance of severe weather into the plains in the Midwest. That could limit it. It's pretty positive. But as we go into Friday, Saturday, this closed off low moves to the east. And we have this. Now, this is has a little bit more of a better tilt to it. And yeah, we can see, now that looks good right there. So if this actually happens next Saturday and Sunday, if we get this upper level low to move northeast, kind of like this, we have that appearance with the vorticity. That is going to bring some severe weather. Dixie, like Alabama, Mississippi, all the way up maybe in Illinois. That area, if we have enough moisture. Now, this is, once again, far out. But this could be interesting, very interesting, actually, if this does happen. It's that giant low right there. So we're going to have to see what happens with this. Let's see if the GFS is consistent with this low. So let's do this real quick. Let's go to hour 195. And now let's go back to the 12Z run from this morning and see what that is saying. So that's interesting. The 12Z run, it shows it also. It shows it looking pretty nasty also, with the upper level lows centered up in Wisconsin. We have, this is in the upper levels though, so keep that in mind. But we'll have storms down in this area, or convective activity kind of in that area with this, if this does happen, sorry. So that is kind of consistent with the GFS, actually. That's pretty interesting. So we'll talk about that again in tomorrow's video. Now let's go over to the European. The European shows it happening later. So the thing with the European is that, like I said a second ago, it shows it happening, it shows it being late. A lot more are happening later than the GFS. So GFS had it all the way kind of in this area. Let's just average those 2 runs out. Convective activity in this area. And then the Euro, though, has a nasty upper level low in northern Texas with maybe some convective activity in this area. But that right there, that push, that looks really nice. And so, yeah, let's see. We're going to have to see that happen. So, also, lastly, let's look at the Canadian for this. The Canadian shows it a lot more disorganized. We have a upper level low over here. It does show it. It does show one right here. Now, where I'd watch for severe weather with this, the best is probably going to be this area. So, so this is something to watch also. But it looks like severe weather will likely start maybe Tuesday through Thursday, the middle of next week. And then we'll maybe have something even more interesting to watch, kind of maybe next weekend. So that's a week out though, but pretty much the 3 main middle range models are showing it. Canadian has it a little bit different than the GFS. So does the European, but it has it there. And they all have it pretty strong, actually. Canadian's the weakest. But so now let's go switch topics. Let's talk about winter weather now, because we might have some a better chance of winter weather in some areas of the U.S. So we have this little winter storm. That's not really going to affect the U.S. That's going to mainly affect southern Canada because we don't really have enough moisture in the U.S. for anything. We do actually have a decent band of heavy snow in southern Canada right there. So that's kind of interesting. And then we go later. This is our storm system that I'm watching for severe weather Wednesday and Thursday. Tuesday, we really don't have a lot of lift. Now, this low could set off something, maybe, in this area. We'll have to see about that. But it does. And then we go out to Wednesday here. That's when the GFS is indicating storms going off down to the south into northern Oklahoma, which northern Oklahoma has the most instability down there. We have a line of storms maybe going off from Illinois, maybe southwestern Wisconsin, all the way down to Oklahoma. Pretty significant this time of year. And on the backside of this, we do have a little bit of snow in Minnesota. We actually could have some snow maybe. I'd say the main area for snow with that storm system is this area. We're not looking at major accumulations, just a lot of snow showers and light snow. And then we go out to Thursday. We have a lot of storm systems. The GFS indicates a lot of thunderstorms in this area, in like the southern plains. And then we have another storm system, which is GFS. That is the one actually at that large upper level low we were talking about. Next weekend, you can see the GFS has a linear line right here, which that's kind of indicates or shows what the upper level low. That's very strong push. Could create probably a linear squall line. Or there's a sign that could be a potential storm mode. You can see a lot of snow in the Midwest with that. Now, this is far out, though, so this is really uncertain. But I will be talking about this again in tomorrow's video. And we'll talk about any new details with it and where we could see severe weather. But yeah, wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow. But yes, hope you guys have a good rest of your Saturday.